card auctions. Let me get over back to my auction site. We're at lot 29. I've got some cards coming up that I plan on bidding on lot 34 and 34C, maybe 36 as well. The big cards are coming at the end. They're in the 50s. There's a Mantle card, and then there's two um, Jordan cards that I'm interested in if they go for the right price. So in any event, that's where we are right now. Online auctions, some of the other do's or don'ts on these things. I guess the first thing I would tell you is know your auction site. Try to make maybe a small purchase on one of them before you kind of unload and go crazy and buy 15 or 20 cards, because you'll know a lot from buying which auction houses you can trust. Find the ones with a lower buyer's premium. I search out for the ones that have a 12 or 15% um, buyer's premium, and then I make sure that I watch those auctions. If anything comes through there, I get opportunity. You're saving half. These people that have 25% buyer's premium, and it's like get your price way low. It's got to be below 50%. And it seems like they don't understand that. I mean, I've gone on some of these sites that have minimum bids, and the minimum bid is, high comps. And it's like, I can't start out at high comps with the 25% buyer's premium. There's no way. And then you'll say something to them. It's like, wow, you're just a bottom feeder trying to flip cards and blah, blah, blah. So you're mass selling cards. Who do you think's buying those cards? Collectors aren't the only ones that are buying some of the cards. I mean, some of the cards they have listed, I don't know why anybody's buying, quite honestly. But there's a buyer for everything, obviously, but you can't list something with a minimum price that's above comps, knowing that the buyer is going to pay another 25% on top of it, because nobody should be buying cards at your auction if you do. And then they'll just keep running them in continual auctions from week to week or month to month, and I guess eventually the stuff sells. I don't know. Um, I know people, list things over comps on eBay too. That annoys me when it's way above comps. I don't mind somebody listing something 10% over comps and then taking an offer. That I have no problem with that, because you just never know exactly how much interest there are in some items, and sometimes there's a lot of interest on something and you don't realize it, and you don't want to give away a card that you could get full comps plus for below comps. So I get that. Um, but some of these auction sites are completely unrealistic as far as what their pricing is at how they comp the cards. It's just up to the individuals involved, and some of them know nothing about sports cards. So knowing condition can, wildly swing the price of a card. Um, they don't factor that in sometimes. If it's a Mantle card, it's got to be a high dollar card. Well, if it's a Mantle card with a big crease in it, um, it's a card that will sell, but it's not a card that you're going to get top dollar for. So sometimes they don't understand that. So know your auction houses. Buy a few small buys before you buy something big, and always underestimate the quality of the item. If you think the item is worth the price, if it's near mint and has to be near mint to be worth the price, don't buy it. Assume it's X. If it may be near mint, assume it's X. If you think it's X, assume it's VG. Always assume it's about a level below, and then you won't get burned on quality, and you'll be pleasantly surprised. I've had some turn out the other way where, wow, I didn't think this card was this nice. So that can happen too. Um, because if it's truly an estate sale, which is what I'm looking for, it's something that not the auctioneer has no connection to the owner. The owner might not even know anything about it because it's family members or whatever. So sometimes you can get pleasantly surprised with the condition of some of these cards, but you can't assume it. You've got to pay as if you're getting it below the quality you think it is. And obviously look at it as zoomed in as you possibly can. Now, some of the descriptions are horrible on this, way worse than eBay. eBay has way better sellers as far as how cards are listed and correctly identified. They make they missed the player. I was bidding on a card yesterday that was Yogi Berra, and it wasn't Yogi Berra listed. I forget even who it was. It was some other player, and I think it was an auto card. I didn't get it because it went too high, but um, sometimes it'll even have the wrong player on it. So look at the card. Be careful of reprints. There are tons of reprints on these sites, and sometimes they don't say reprint. So you need to know what the reprint of these cards, especially if you're buying Mantle cards or any kind of vintage cards, you need to know what the reprints of those cards look like, because frequently you'll see it and it won't be identified. Or it might be like in the fine print if you pull up the fine print, but in the title it won't say anything about reprint. And quite honestly, sometimes, especially when I'm going through the cards the first time, I don't read the full description below it, because I'm looking at one card, and I'm looking at the condition of the card. If I know what the card is, I'm not really looking too much at the description. If it doesn't say reprint and the card looks too good, well, then I'm going to look a little further, because if it's a 55 tops and it looks white and sharp corners, and I already know my radar's up. But you got to be careful. I've already bought a reprint doing this, and I thought it was a reprint, but it wasn't sure. And I paid a little bit more than I should have paid for a reprint, but it was so below what the actual card would have been that it's not turned out too bad for me. It's this card right here. It's the 58 Topps Mantle All-Star card. If it wasn't a reprint, it would be a couple $100 card. Fortunately, I paid about 30 or 40 bucks for it. Should have paid about 15 for it, because it's a reprint. Uh, the thing about it, I did know it doesn't say reprint on this card, and this card, other than it being in great condition, and the stock doesn't feel right to me when I got it. Um, it's still a reprint. It's still a reprint. But anyway, it's a card. It's kind of funny to have around. I got a few reprints. I generally don't buy reprints at all, because I'm looking for real Mantle cards for my set. I'm not really looking for reprints. So you got to be careful on the reprints. Got to be careful on the autographs. The authenticity of autographs has got to be like a Beckett or a JSA or a PSA, or a card company that it's an authorized autograph. But some of these photos that you'll see on there are fake. There's a ton of fake Mantle signed photos, Hall of Fame signed photos. A ton of them are fake. There's shady authentication. Some of it may be real, some of it's not. But I just don't overpay for autographs on these online sites. I've got a rule that I won't go over $100 on any non-authenticated autograph. And when I say authenticated, either by PSA, by Beckett, JSA, which I may not even be um, completely 100% authentic as well. There's some maybe fake JSA certifications out there too. There's fake everything out there, so be careful how much money you're going to spend on an autograph, unless it's going to be authenticated by a real trustworthy source, and you're clear about that. So that's another thing to be aware. Let's see where we are on our auction. We are at lot 30. It is a Ashton Jeffrey patch card. That's going for 25 bucks. He is Alshon Jeffrey. Oh, it's numbered to 25. Okay. Numbered to 25, 2012. But this guy is not a Hall of Famer, okay? Is there anybody collecting Alshon Jeffrey? A numbered patch card. 25 bucks? Really? I'm willing to bet it doesn't comp at that. I mean, I haven't. Let's do it just for grins. Let's. Oh, it's got an auto too. I didn't see the auto, so that might make it a little bit. It's a 2012 Absolute auto jersey card. It's going for 25. Let's see what it actually comps at. Go to Market Movers real quick. Cut and paste the title in. See what pops up. 1150 graded. 1150 graded. Beckett 9.5. That card sold for $11.50 in July. $12, $10, $6. These are raw copies. $7.50. $20. That was in 2023. So the card has never sold for more than $20 according to what I'm looking at, and it's fixing to sell at this auction. It's sold for $25, and that's before you and put the buyer's premium on top of it. It's almost 30. So you got to be careful, folks, when you're bidding on even if it's something sweet like that. If I was a big fan of Alston Jeffrey, Bears fan back in the day, um, maybe I would pay that for that card if I really, really hadn't seen one and I really wanted it. But I remember there was a cheap, speaking of reprints, Aaron Judge reprint. I might have mentioned at some other video that I collect 59 Topps Hall of Famers. So I don't collect the whole set. I just collect the Hall of Famers from 59 Topps. I just like the set. Same thing with 65. So I saw one day on an auction a reprint card. Not really a reprint card, but I'm not sure actually which one it is. Of 59 Topps. 59 Topps Aaron Judge. It's a 2018 card. This one's 2018. There's another one from 2021 that I have. So I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of these two cards was up on an auction. I said, you know what? And it was like $5 or something. The starting price. I said, you know what? I'm going to pick this card up. I just kind of think it's cool. I like the 59 Topps. I like Aaron Judge. So I'm going to buy this card. And I got in the auction, and somehow I wasn't paying attention, and it went up, got bid up, and I lost it. And it was like $12. I had something that went through there, and I was pissed. So I said, you know what? Let me take a look at what this card is valued at. So I go on eBay, and I find the card for like $5 plus free shipping and buy it. I think I bought it for less than that even. It was like the card had nowhere near the value that it went for at this auction. So you got to be careful the online auctions. Sometimes you're going to get cards go for over comps frequently because people don't know. They're just caught up in the moment. Same thing on Whatnot, which is why what people love selling on Whatnot. Everybody except me, but it seems to be able to sell cards on Whatnot because it's the emotion. People get caught up in the moment. And if you got two people that want a card, it's going to go for over comps most of the time. So you got to be the guy that says, I know I can get that card for cheaper than that, so why am I buying it at this auction? I can find this card is not so rare. Most sports cards, folks, are not super rare. Even mantle cards are not super rare. You can find them. What's rare is high condition vintage cards. That's what's rare. So that's why when you hear a mantle card going for, millions of dollars, it's because it's the one or two copies that are PSA 9 or PSA 10, whatever the highest rated card is. So that's what has scarcity. But you can find vintage cards. You can find just about any card you want, unless it's a one-on-one, easily. Um, So don't overpay on an auction when you can just go to eBay and buy it now for less than you're going to bid for it. Just be advised that's usually better to people that when you participate in one of these auctions. There's the entertainment value of just going through and looking and finding. It's kind of like going through a bargain bin at a card show. What might I find in here that I can't live without? That happens to me at the hardware store too. They have the $5 table. It's like, what tool on that table can I not live with if I can pick it up for $5? So there's some of that goes into this, and you got to be careful not to overpay because there's no reason to. If you really want that card, go buy it on eBay or wherever, and you'll be able to get it. All right, waiting on lot 34. We're on lot 31C is a Tom Seaver. Two Tom Seaver. Oh, I know. That's there was a little like not a refractor, but back in the day in the 70s, they had this little card that kind of like 3D action. There's one of those, and then there's a Kellogg's 3D card. So there's two Kellogg's. These are not even Topps cards. Tom Seavers. They're at $15. No way, guys. There's no way these cards are $15 cards. I have some from that 3D set, one set. I have some other ones, not in great condition, but they're not expensive cards. Because they're not the kind of thing that collectors seek out. If you're a Tom Seaver collector, you're going to be wanting his rookie cards, his real Topps, his main cards in high grade condition, maybe an auto or real auto. That's what you're going to collect if you're a Tom Seaver guy. This card right here, yeah, if you came across it, you might pick it up for a couple of bucks and throw it in a box, but it's not anything that you're really going to collect. It's like I collect a lot of guys. I just bought a Whitey Ford card today on this auction. It went for $50 at 54 Topps Whitey Ford. It's not a great buy. It's not a terrible buy. Factor in the buyer's premium at 60. Happy to have it because I collect Whitey Ford. I'm going to stick it right up there with my other Whitey Ford cards. I've got a 60. I've got a 59. I got a 65. I've got a 64. I got a 62. So now I have a 54. It's the oldest one I've got. So happy to have that. Overpay a little bit maybe, but not way overpay. And it's also a card I know I want in my collection, and I'm going to keep in my collection regardless of the value of it. And it's also a card that's going to retain that value. I know it may not be worth a ton of money in 20 years when I'm not around and somebody else is trying to sell it, but I know it's going to be worth probably at least $100. Maybe a little less, but it's not going to be worth less than $50. I doubt. So I'm happy to do that. But these cards will frequently go for over comps. Where's this Seaver at now? Because it hasn't closed yet. It's still at 15. On this site, it seems like a lag between the fair warning and the actual close. And then all of a sudden you'll see the next card up with the opening bid that's for the next card. So there's an online in-person process that's pointing out here that's closing these items, not like a clock that you would look at if it was purely online. Which, quite honestly, if I was being honest with you, I'd tell you, normally would not participate in one of these auctions when there's in-person because of what happened to me in the story I told you about my max bid not being honored by one auction house. Because I just think there's that brother-in-law, factor that factors in that the auctioneers are connected to the people they see that they know. And I know that in these small towns, these auctions are a big deal. The same people come to them and attend them. And the auctioneers cater to those folks because, quite frankly, they need those people to get the prices up on their items, and they're reliable to do that. So they cater to them. And if it's at the expense of somebody online that's anonymous, you can bet that that's going to happen if it all happens. Okay, that card sold for 15. Now we got a Shohei rookie that I was in on for a minute and then back down on. It's a 2018 Select Shohei rookie card. The betting was the initial bid was $45. I've comped this card to be about a $50 to $60 card, so I'm out. It's now at 65 on a floor bidder, 55, then 65, 60. I'm sorry, they're asking for a $65 bid. So this is a card right now that is right at comps at 60, maybe even a little above. So if you bought it, you pay 18%, you'd be paying $70. You'd be at least $10 to $15 over comp on this card. And if you're trying to grade it, first of all, grading Select really hard to see on pictures if this card's going to grade well. You don't know even. It's hard to look at centering even when you look at the pictures that you get on the because one thing these online listers do, that card sold for 60. Not too much of an overpay, but a little overpay. I can't flip it and make money, so I'm out. Next card up here is a 2010 Topps Tribute Blue Ty Cobb Bat Relic. I read some of these bat relics are not really the actual bat relic. They are some commemorative thing that's made for the set. You've just received Topps Certified Memorabilia Card in 2010 Tribute. Topps having game from the player. Topps pledges to having your as the game from the player, person, fugitive. This I can't even tell you if that's an actual game used Ty Cobb bat piece, because I don't think it is. I think it's something that was created um, for the card, which interests me not a sliver. You give me a piece of Ty Cobb's bat, I'm interested. You're giving, and this item, folks, is at $190. Pre-bid was 170, and the floor bid now is 190, and it's a PSA 7, so it's at least graded. So it's at least a real of what it is. But let me comp this card. And I'm telling you, I do not think this is a $170 card. Open up Market Movers, clip on comp, cut and paste, and let's see what we got. See if I can see this card first of all. There we go. Well, I was wrong. I see a pristine auction sale for $321 on a ungraded one. Is it numbered to 75? Is this one numbered to 75? Oh, I can't tell. I don't know if it was numbered to 75, but it sold already. I don't remember the one I saw. It looks the same, but I don't think it was numbered to 75. Here it is, the tribute card without the numbering, $90. I think that was a huge overpay, folks. Here's another one numbered to 75 that only went for 158. So 90, another one 91, 72. That's what that card just went for. And somebody at the auction paid 190 for it, and 18 plus 18%. That's another $35. So they paid $225 plus tax. That's a big overpay. Nolan Ryan card here, a 75 Topps, not the base. It's a 74 highlights card. Pre-bid was at 30. 20. It's already at 35. I was out at 20. This is not a $35 card, folks. I've comped it as well. It's about a $25 card. So again, huge overpay. Huge overpay. Gotta be careful. You got to know what these things are worth before the item comes up for bid. Because basically, what I do is I go through all the whole list, and I find the 5, 10, 15, whatever number of cards, whatever I have the time, because I might be doing that in 2 or 3 bites, 2 or 3 different times leading up to an auction. Usually have about a week or 2 notice, sometimes even longer. I'll do that. Just the ones that I like this card. I like this card. The price right now is below comps. That if something is already over comps, I'm not even gonna. So I'll put those in my watch list, and then usually the day of the auction or the day before the auction, I'll start comping everything on my list and where it is in terms of bidding at that point. And if it's over comps, I unwatch it. And not only if it's over comps, if it's already at a point where I can't bid at it and make money to flip it, or if it's not a card I want for my PC that I can get for reasonable comps or something close to comps, it's out of my watch list, and I don't do it. That's why I'm only looking at maybe 6 or 8 or 10 items come bidding. And again, this online process, don't like this. I'd much rather have a auction that I knew exactly when it was going to close, and could just sit there and play the clock and get my final bid in. They don't. These are usually soft close, so they don't. It's not like eBay that you can come in and snipe in the last 5 seconds. It'll extend the bidding. So I usually wait till 3 to 5 minutes before the end, and I'll put my max bid in and hope it holds. And that's the way I would like to bid here, but this is a little different with the the floor bidding that's going to take place. So we're coming up on the next card. I'm going to bid in a couple of lots. It's an 81 Topps Magic Johnson card. This is not his rookie card. This is his second year card, but the Magic rookie card, he was on a rookie card with Bird and somebody else. So it was a multiple player rookie card. And this is the first card that he has by himself. So the second year card for Magic, a little more significant than most. I view this. It says it's high grade. Who knows? It looked a little off center to me for high grade. I don't. I can't consider, even if it's totally sharp in OC, then I maybe. And it looks like it may be. So it looks like this card could be gradable. And when you comp it out, um, it comps out well above 25, I think. I'll just do it again for grins just to make sure we're getting it right. So let's go here and comp this one out. And Market Movers is telling me it's okay. So this one's saying $15 raw, so it's over. Okay. Wait a minute. That's right. I forgot now that I need to take this. Sometimes when you cut and paste out of those listings, you're not going to get a good read by Market Movers. Okay, the PSA 10 is 10 grand. Okay, I know it's not a 10. We know that. Raw 18. Uh, this PSA 8, $81. 15, 100, 1250. Not a big card, guys. But I see a PSA 8, $88. 35 for a near mid plus. This is $15 to $25. If I buy it, it's probably going to be an overpay. I think it solidly can be sold for 25 bucks. Magic overproduced early 80s, but it's early 80s, so it's not super overproduced. It's not like it's 90s. But there certainly was a lot of production. All right. Coming up next, it's at 25 already. I may just go 35. And don't really like the fact that I'm doing that, but I kind of like, this is kind of one of those cards where I'm kind of happy to put it in my PC if I can't sell it, if I decide not to sell it. Oh, it doesn't let you max bid. I already bid it up. Oh, the floor bidder took it from me anyway. I bid 30 and 35. I can't put a max bid in after the fact. I guess I should do that before the fact, that it's already at 45 with two floor bidders bidding me up. I ain't going to 50 on this card, guys. It's not a grader that you can get that's a guaranteed PSA 8. The 8's only is less than 100. The 8's about a $100 card, $90 card. So this, in my opinion, looking at the centering, is not $100 if the rest is not an 8 if the rest of the card is perfect. And I see some flaws on it. So this is not a PSA 8. This is not a card you can flay and flip. This is a card you'd only be buying for your collection. And I don't want it $55 enough because it's at 50 right now. So I'm out. Good thing it wasn't a Hakeem Olajuwon or somebody like that I like better. But Magic, I don't have much of a problem with. I'd be happy to add that to my collection, but I'm not adding it to my collection for $55 plus buyer's premium. That's another $9, right? On a $50 card, it's going to cost that guy almost 60 to buy it. So out. I think he's going to get it for 50 because I'm not bidding. I went to 35 real quick, and that didn't scare him off because my opinion, it's not a $50 card. Certainly not a $60 card. I got another. This is just a funsies item. 13 packs of 80s junk wax. 13 packs of junk wax. What would you pay? The bidding is at 20. I'm willing to pay 25 for this box. This is just for sport. Basically $2 a pack. That's fair price for these. What looks like there's some kind of cello pack that I can't tell the year. I think it's 90 or I think it's going to be 90 tops just from the design. Is what I maybe 89 or 90. And then there's some a pack of 87 and like a 4 or 5 packs of 90 Donruss. So wait a minute, there's stuff hiding under there that they're not even showing you. There's some Fleer packs too that I can't. The cellos are 87s too. And then there's some tops that I can't tell what year that is. So anyway, this is just kind of would be just a fun rip on some of these cards for a relatively cheap price. And since I'm having stuff sent to me already, I might as well bid on it once. Like I said, I'm not going crazy. If somebody wants to pay more than 25 bucks for those, they can have it. Right behind it is an interesting card that I thought about bidding on, but it's gone too high also, and not that high. There's a 91 Fleer, what's called high grade Michael Jordan. Okay, so this is a card that I have copies of already. I like the card. I would scoop it for 5 or 10 bucks, but I'm not paying 20 for it. And it's certainly not, because it's not worth 20. It's under 10. It may be a $7 card. You can grade them, and if you can grade a 10, you can make money, but this card is nowhere near that gradable level. It's on its face OC, I believe. Yeah, on its face it's clearly OC. So it's not a 10. So a 9s are worth in the 20 something, about $20 to $30 range. You can't grade it and make money. So you can't sell it raw and make money. So unless you just want the card and want to overpay, okay. But I'm not bidding on that one. We right now have some 50 Bowmans going for a good price. These are mostly, looks like all commons though. Can't really tell who they are. Harry Jansen, Rex Barney, Johnny Pesky. Bill, that's not McDougal. So you got one card in here that's at least a name. Pesky's pole fame. It's at 45. I didn't want the card. I love these the 50 Bowman set though. I do have a couple of Yankee 50 Bowmans, but not interested in spending 50 bucks for 6 commons basically. Johnny Pesky. Alright, here's my wax. Bid 25, it's there. And I have somebody bid $130. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. They must now. This is cello packs, and this is the other thing about online versus in person. Is there a card showing on here that is showing some particular player that makes this somehow worth $130? Because this is junk wax, guys. I've had all these cards. I don't know what's on here, but there aren't any $130 cards. Is there like Tiffany or something? I don't see Topps Tiffany here or something. If it was Topps Tiffany, maybe you'd bid that on this. But I don't think it is. I don't think Tiffany came in cello packs. Alright, well somebody's really in on this card. I'm obviously out. I'm not even thinking about it. The thing sold for $130. Now here's the Jordan card. It's already up to 25. And good luck, you can have that. God bless you. I got a Kobe card here that's coming up. It's $25 high bid right now on a 96 Fleer Kobe rookie card. Um, there's several of these 96 Fleer variations. It says rookie on it. I don't know where this thing comps. I did comp it earlier, promise you, but comp it again just to see. PSA 730. No, that's a different card. See, that's the thing. What's the card number on this? Card number 203. Let's plug that in, see if we can pull that up. Pull the card number into Market Movers. There you go. 1475, 40, 14, 22, 26, 12, 70 and a PSA 9, 35 PSA 8, 42 PSA 8, 18 raw, 30, 8.5, 34, Beckett 9, Beckett 7.5, 2750, 59 PSA 9, 20 raw. Okay, so I mean, no more than a $20 to $30 card at best. I mean, 15, fairly 15, um, just sold for 15. So hard to bid this thing at all. With the bidding right now is sitting at 20. So do I want to pay 25? Would I make one bid on this and pay 25 for it? Because my opinion on Kobe cards right now is their market on them is pretty much arrow pointed up. Because there are a lot of Kobe fans out there that are looking for Kobe rookies, but I just don't know if you couldn't grade this one if you could get your money back. What is it, some 86 Topps, 85 Topps, full set. Full set of 85 Topps, bid is 130. 80, problem with 85 Topps is who's the Hall of Fame rookie? I know there's somebody in there. Kirby? Bucket? I mean, there's a couple Hall of Fame rookies. It's not a Yount. It's not a Ozzy. That's what they're showing us in the car. I think it's Kirby Puckett is maybe the rookie card in here. But anyway, I ain't paying $830 for it. That's big overpay. I've got an 84 Topps sitting over there. The 84 Topps set has 3 better rookies. It's already at 20. I'm not going to 30 on the Kobe, so I'm already out on that. I've already got an 84 Topps. There's 3 better rookies in that set. The 84's got Mattingly, Strawberry, and I forget the third one. But anyway, just Mattingly and Strawberry is better than anybody in the 85 set. And those sets I know because I've got one listed right now for 70 and I can't get it for a really nice clean set. I have it listed for 70 and it's not selling, which I've seen they sell for 50 or 60, 70, somewhere in there usually, but I ain't selling mine. And I'm just saying that 85 just went for 130. You didn't even get to look at it. I didn't see the one rookie card that I think might be in that one that's of value. I think it's Kirby Puckett is 85 if I'm not mistaken. I didn't see it, and if it's not super clean, it's a $10 card or less. If you can't grade that Puckett, it's a $10 card. Because I've already graded one. I graded the Fleer. But still, I know those Puckett rookies raw are not worth a lot. They're worth less than 20 bucks, all of them. And if they're graded high, they're worth something, but 8s and 9s aren't worth much. Alright, so what's the next thing? I've got a lot of Topps, and I'm not even sure I'm going to bid on this one either. They have 2765 Topps for 10 bucks. 2565 Topps for 10 bucks isn't too bad. except I don't know if I really want anything other than one card in here. Told you earlier I collect 2 sets, Hall of Famers only. 65 tops, 59 tops. So I collect all the Hall of Famers from those sets. This lot is showing me 9 cards. They're giving me 27, but they're showing me 9. Okay, so that's just the one thing you got to know about some of these online auctions. The listings aren't like eBay, guys, all right? They don't even try to tell you everything that's in the lot. They try to deceive you on stuff. Like yesterday, I saw a lot. 6 auto and patch cards, okay? And it had 8 cards out there. There was two Hall of Famers. I can't even remember the Hall of Famers, okay? There were 2 Hall of Famers in the picture, okay? But when you looked um, at the lot, the patches and the autos were 6 of them, but they were all no names. The two Hall of Fame cards were just regular cards, like reprints. They were not even vintage cards. So be careful. They try to manipulate you on these listings and think they're being slick, and there's nobody policing them other than the auction house who's doing the listing. So they are, I'll call them out once in a while and tell them, hey, this is a reprint. You need to change it. You need to tell people it's a reprint. I do that randomly. It's usually a waste of time. Sometimes they respond and do something, but usually don't do anything, so it's a waste of time. Well, anyway, this lot has a Frank Robinson in here, which I don't have in my 65 tops cards. I got some 65 right here. I got Al Kaline, Bob Gibson, Willie Mays, Pete Rose, Clemente, McCovey, and Yastrzemski. And I got some more in my box that are lesser. There might be a couple of Hall of Famers I have that I don't have room for there. So anyway, that's what I'm working on. So I don't have the Frank Robinson yet. This one looks decent, so I would buy the lot just for that. At this price, maybe it's 15 bucks, 10 bucks. I don't know what's in the other ones, but if the Frank is in good condition, I'd buy it. Now, if somebody is interested in it, though, they're going to bid more than I'm willing to pay for it, because quite honestly, the high bid is already up to, no, I'm sorry, where's the 65? High bid is still at 10, so I'm willing to go till about 20, maybe 15 or 20, but I'm not willing to go more than that, because I just don't know, first of all, what other cards are in there and what condition they're in. There's 9 cards showing that look to be, VGX. I'm hoping the Frank is an X and not a VG, closer to X than VG. The centering on it looks decent, but I don't really know. So I can't really pay really more than the 15 minimum bid that I'm going to have to make to get in the game. I'm not sure if I'm even going to make a $20 bid, because I can't. The only way I could set a max bid of 20 right now, but I can't wait till the auction goes live and bid a max bid. I can just go in there and keep bidding, but it'll keep on making my bid for me as if I was in the room saying $20, 25, and I would be nodding yes, yes, yes. So I'm kind of bidding against myself. So I'm thinking, if I want to pay 20 for it, the smart thing to do would be to put a max bid in for 20 right now, because it would go up. I'd be winning at 15, assuming nobody else has bid higher than 10. I'd be winning at 15, and somebody would have to go to 25 to outbid me, which they may not be willing to do. So that's the strategy I'm thinking about here. Or I could just wait for it to go live, put 15 in, and if it wins, it wins. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not so keen on that Frank Robinson card that I have to have it. Is this $25 for a Burt Blyleven rookie card? 72 tops, Burt Blyleven. Now it looks, the 72 tops, as you know, the black borders are really tough to clean, and this one looks pretty good, but not perfect. I see some whitening on the corners. I'd be shut, and it's at 30. Now, there's no way this card comps for $30 Burt Blyleven. I know he's a Hall of Famer and all that stuff, but the 72 tops Burt Blyleven's not a $32 card unless it's a PSA holder and a 9. Then maybe it's a $32 card. It went for 30. Here's a Sporting News All-Star Hank Aaron. It's 62 tops. Looks like that's a little beat. Oh no, wait a minute. It's a PSA. But it's a PSA 4. And we are at $50. I already thought the comps on this one were too high too. I thought this card comped in the 30s for a PSA 4, so I have no interest in diving in at 50. What am I going to do with these? Am I going to go put a bid in right now on the 65 top slot for 20? And then hope nobody wants to go to 25, but they might be willing to go to 20. So I would, worst case scenario, probably get a bunch of 65 tops that I probably couldn't sell, but I'd get my Frank Robinson that I'd be willing to pay 10 or $15 for. That's a different strategy. I'm putting a max on 20 right now and seeing what happens. Somebody's already got a bid over that, so I got information by doing that. I picked 20, went to and then somebody's got a higher bid, and it's asking me to bid 30. I'm out on this lot, guys. Not gonna go more than the $30 that it's at right now. I'm not even gonna go to that $30. Got another lot coming up behind it. It's that's lot 38B. We're on lot 37B. 38B was the one I'm passing on now, the 65 tops. I can find that Frank Robinson card and get it for less than $30 raw. Or I can buy a graded copy. The 65s I haven't really started grading. It's the 59s I've really tried to start grading. SGC, all those. I've got lot 41 that I'm planning on bidding on a Paige Buchers rookie card, PSA 10. Reason I'm bidding on this one, guys, is I saw the comps on this card at around $60 to $80, and it's sitting now at 25. Worst case scenario, it's $50 card. Best case scenario, she starts playing next season and it becomes a higher dollar card when the WNBA season starts, which is when I would try to sell this card. I'm not a Paige Buchers fan. I can't even say that I've ever seen her play. I've just heard about her through cards. But I'm willing to pay $30 to $40 for this card, because even with the buyer's premium, I think I'll be putting myself in a position to sell it for a profit at some point down the road. So that's the next lot I'm going to wait on. Then I'm going to pause the video and come back when the Mantle card and the Jordan cards are coming in the 50s. Because the Mantle and the Jordan card is what lot number? Lot 54 is the 66 Mantle, and then the Jordans are right behind that one. So that's the one I'm targeting, and I'm probably not going to get it at this auction, the way things have been going. It's a 66 tops, man. I'm wondering about the same strategy here, if I should wait again for the floor bidding and just bump it up $10 a bid, or go in right now with what I'm prepared to pay, which is $200 for this card. $200 is my maximum on this card. With the buyer's premium, that's $218. Sorry, $236 is 18%, right? 18% of 200. Yeah, it's 36. So that's 236. That's a little bit. The card looks super nice, and although I can't sell the one I have for 236 right now, I can probably sell it for 200. And if it costs me $36 plus 20, $54, I would, if I could get this one graded higher than the one I have, I'd accomplish something. I'd hope to bump it 2 grades. Maybe I only bump it 1 grade, but I think I might be able to pull a 4 on this card. And if I did, it would be worth it to me to pay $50 to have a 4 instead of a 2. And that's basically what I would be doing by bidding 200 here. So that's my logic on this one. It's a little twisted, but when you're talking about your own PC, you can make anything work, right? But the centering, the corners look a little soft, but when I look at the back, they don't look too bad. They're a little soft. I mean, that's what you could expect. But I'm only hoping for a 4. So I don't see creases, and I see great centering. Slightly OC, but only slightly. This is, you know, 60-40 on side to side, and maybe 70-30 top to bottom. But as in this set, as you know, that's really rare. I'm going to show you the 67 mantle that I have, the one I'm trying to upgrade. So here it is. As you can see, this card, you won't be able to see the flaw in it. It's got a crease. I don't think there's any light that I can shine that will show it. That's why it's a great card. It's well centered, probably better centered than the one I'm looking at. The corners on it are a little soft, just like this one. The corners are similar. And you cannot see the wrinkle without an intense light. So when it sits in my case, it looks like an 8. But it's a 2. So I may be interested in getting rid of this if I can upgrade it. I had to turn that light off because of the glare we're getting, because the lighting has changed, and that's not good either. If I put my overhead light on, it's going to bring a fan up, and that's not good either. Wait a minute, was this, maybe this was glare just because of the door being open, the door to my case. So you know what, I think I can go back to this light. Yep, I thought the case was the case door being open was the glare, not the other. So I thought I had the glare issue handled with that light. All right, where are we on our auction? Bullet Bob Hayes. So I got PSA 8. Currently sitting at $90, which I think is an overpay too. I don't really know. I haven't looked this one up because I wasn't interested. 89 Donruss factory set coming up next because there's a Griffey rookie card in it. High bid is at $20.15. But you know, the Griffey is not a big dollar card. The 89 Donruss is not even as good as the 89 Fleer. I think I even like the Topps Traded better as a card, and I think as an investment too. So, you know, you buy a factory set, it's an open factory set. Even if the seller is honest and didn't, pull out the Griffey and put a bad copy in, the centering on 89 product is so hit or miss, mostly miss, that the notion you'd be able to get a card that you're going to grade 10 is really pipe dream. So the set really has very little value other than that. You can't pay more than $20 for it because you might be able to sell the whole set for 20 or 30. I mean, that's as much as that set's going for, maybe less. I've got sealed 90 top set, 91 top set football sets from those. You can't sell those for more than 20 or 25 bucks. I've already sold some, tried to sell others. Um, some of that product from the early 90s, baseball, basketball, football. So let's see what this unsealed factory Donruss set, 89 Donruss set. It's at 15 with a pre-bid. Nobody's bidding it. Nobody's pre-bid. That buyer's going to get a decent deal then at 15. The floor bidders do not want that. Interesting. We wonder why nobody's bidding on that with some of the bidding that's been going on junk wax on this site. I'm still blown away by the packs that I bid 20 bucks on and that somebody came in and bid 130 straight up for. 1920 W590 Glen Wright. Nothing on the back. Ace of Spades on the front with a picture of Glen Wright. Pittsburgh Pirates. Huh. Don't know anything about this set. Floor pre-bid 20. Floor bidders are up to 40 now on this card, which I have no idea if that's a good deal or not. Paige Bucher's coming up in 3 bit lots. I'm going to be bidding on that one. If you're keeping track, I've already acquired a 1954 Topps Whitey Ford and a 1960 Kmart 3-card lot with Yogi, Hank Aaron, and Gil Hodges. That's all I've purchased so far. I may have won in one other cheap lot. I forgot. I'll have to check, but I don't want to check right now while my... Okay, 2 graded rookies, Chipper Jones, Jeff Bagwell, 91 Upper Deck. Chipper, I have all these cards. That card is not worth that lot. Went to for $5, as it should. That lot was not worth more than that. Here are some 68 World Series cards. I've actually got a lot of these cards. I've looked at them before. I don't think they're worth selling. They're just cards that were reprints. They're not reprints. They were just like commemorating each prior World Series for, I think at the time was 75 years or something, because it was in the 60s. And they're just kind of cartoonish. Here's 290 Fleer factory sets. I'm trying to figure who was in 90 Fleer that's worthwhile. It's the second year Griffey. They're at 25 for both of them. It's not bad. I just don't want some more junk wax sets that I can't sell and to pay 35. I don't know if I can make my money back after paying eBay. So if I got them both for $5, yeah, I might try it. Try to sell them on eBay for 20 a piece. But I'm not interested at 25 plus buyer's premium minus eBay fees when you sell them. There's just not enough in it. Okay, here's Paige. Oh, it's already at 60. I'm buying it at 60, but no more. If anybody wants to go sit more than 60 on Paige, they can have it. Because I'm paying full comps on this card right now already. The reason I would do that is it's a PSA 10. So I have no downside on condition on this card. It's always going to be a PSA 10. If she plays at all, I'll be able to get my money out of it. If she plays great, I'll make money. So it's kind of a no-lose proposition. And I guess, there's always risk. She could fall off the face of the earth. But I may get it for 60 because nobody's come back yet. I put 25 in, immediately went to 55 for a floor bidder. I put 60 in, and I'm winning and I won it. I got it for 60. Okay. floor bidder screwed me. I would have had it a lot cheaper. You really didn't want the card floor bidder. And I would never have done that on an ungraded card where the value is so determinative on condition that you don't really know that until you get it in your hand. But a PSA 10 is a PSA 10. I know what it is. I know the value of it is. It's not like buying cash, paying cash for cash or paying cash for gold, but it's pretty close. So I'll take that risk on that one. Okay, so it looks like we're not going to have anything coming up until my Mantle card, lot 54. We are now at lot 41. And I'm going to pause the video and pick it back up because I have a bunch of cards starting after that Mantle card. There's a 68 Mantle also, but I'm not interested in a 68 Mantle. I just bought a 4.5 68 Mantle. So I don't need anything better, and this one is not better anyway. It's raw, it's $130. You know, it's one that maybe you would scoop up to flip if it was super cheap, but 130 plus buyer's premium is almost 30, almost 160, and it's not enough meat there left on a raw 68. So I'm not going to play with that. I'm going to go after the raw 66 and hope to grade it for my PC. It's already at 180. So there's not a lot of meat on the bone for me on this one. I'm not going crazy on it. I'm going to put 200 in, and if it doesn't hold, not buy it. As a matter of fact, I may pay 200 on it right now to get the next two bidding increments. Because you don't want to put 190 in, get bid to 200, and have to go to 210 to get it. I'd rather put 200 in and make somebody bid 210 to beat me. So that's the theory on that. So should I wait or not? Somebody actually has been bidding on this while I've been watching it. So I may do that. I'm going to put the 200, see what that person's max bid is. I'm winning it at 200. Wait a minute, no, I'm winning it at 190. So I've got a $200 max bid on it. It's sitting at 190 right now. We're about 15 lots away, 42 to 54, 12 lots away on this. And I'm just going to give it a shot. Either the 200 holds. I'm betting, willing to bet, that somebody's going to bid from the floor on this card. They have the advantage and they get to hold the card in their hand probably. So depending upon how nice if it gets another bid, that tells me that from the floor, that tells me it's in pretty nice shape. Because if it's in nice shape, it's worth $200. Because this card, if it grades a 4, it's a $350 card. And it could, from what it looks like. It's just not guaranteed. Never guaranteed, not assuming it. But that's why I can't bid more than 200 in this situation. If it was if it was an SGC 4, I could bid higher on this card, because then it has a guaranteed value over $300, so I can bid higher on it. But just because it looks like it's a 4 doesn't tell me that it is, and I can't go more than the raw value of the card, or a little bit higher on the raw value, possibly. If it grades a 2, then it's sitting there worth 175, 150 like my 2. Then I got 2 of them. Still have to sell one to cut my losses. But if it doesn't grade higher than a 2, there's no reason to bet on this card, to bid on this card right now and hope it's a 4. You can hope it's a 4 if you pay for a 2, but you can't hope it's a 4 if you pay for a 4 that's not a 4 yet. So that's kind of where we are on that one. We'll see what happens if that bid holds. I don't think it's gonna. After that card, I've got a couple others. The Montana Rookies at 75. I know I'm out on that. Jerry Rice rookies at 45. These are raw copies. I'm out on that. There's two Michael Jordan cards. There's an 88 Fleer and an 87 Fleer. The 87 Fleer, the second year card, is getting to be a very valuable card. In fact, at a PSA 9, I believe it's still like $600. Or is it 600 for the 9, 300? It's 300 for the 9 and 600 for the 10. It's something like that. It's at 300 right now, raw. Let me look. I think 9s are at 600. Let's see if Michael Jordan is. Beckett 10, 630, but that's a Beckett 10. Here's a PSA 8 off center is 324. A PSA 8, 375. 583 for an 8. 1100 for an 8.5. Wow. 8.5, 250. That was the sticker version. That's not the card. So that's where this card is. But now that it's at 300, I'm probably out. I was thinking of paying up to 300 for it and getting it graded. If you get a 9, you make money. If you get an 8, you're gonna make a little bit of money. If you get a 9, you get a lot of money. Now, if you get an 8, you're break even, so it's not worth it, or lose. So I'm gonna bet on the 88 though. That's at 55 because I believe that one comps closer to 100. Let me verify that. Gotta learn to take notes when I comp my cards the first time. You know, making money in this hobby, guys, a lot of times is about doing the work, doing the digging. Patience. Alright, let's run this card. 87 Fleer Michael Jordan. Not the sticker, I've got the stickers. I got 3 sticker cards. They're 5s. 396 for a PSA 9. 348 for a PSA 9. It's 88 or 88. Looking for a raw one to see what the raw ones are going for. Well, all of these are graded. Alright, let's do minus PSA. Bull Beckett. Some weird slab. 1250 creased. 100 near mid plus. 185. These are recent sales too. Raw. Super high end rare. That's why I got 185 bucks. Can't criticize, right? So it's at 55 right now. And quite honestly, it looks a little bit offside, but not terribly. And the top to bottom, it looks like a really sharp card. picture quality that you get is pathetic on these auction sites. So anyway, I think it's worth going 60 or 70 on, and I'm going to bid on that on the mantle. I'm not going to bid on the other one. I'm out on the 87 Fleer for 300. So lot 54, lot 58, those are the two lots that I'm ready left to bid on. We're currently at 44. Selling a Paul dual patch for 15. Chris Paul and Chauncey Billups numbered to 50. Huh. I tell you, that lot right, that sold for 15 bucks. That's probably a pretty good buy. Mecca double folder Mattern Graham. Wow. This is a 1911 T201 Mecca double folder Mattern Graham. This one's at $110 right now. It's not Moonlight Graham, is it? Might be Moonlight Graham. Maybe that's why it's going. George F. Graham was a hitter, so Moonlight was a pitcher, wasn't he? At 140, 150, all coming from the floor. All these bids, most of the bids that are today that are coming in are floor bidders. And I think it unnerves them a little bit when an internet bidder stays in, because I haven't seen much internet bidding on this on the live auction. There was internet bidding before the auction started, the pre-bids, but most of the folks like me that put a couple of pre-bids and followed cards don't look like they came in to come back on the auction. We're at lot 44A. Coming up on 10 lots to go. We'll do a pause and fast forward. We'll be back in a minute when those lots come up. Alright, we're back on. Waiting for the mantle card to come up. We're getting close to that wire. In the meantime, I made another impulse buy. Told you I wasn't going to do it. Told you not to do it, but I did it because I saw something that I thought was going just cheaper than I could watch it go. And I probably shouldn't have bought it anyway. It's a box of Bowman Chrome University football. The reason I bought it is I know exactly what these things cost because I just bought two of them. Their online release price was $149, but they're already selling on eBay for $160, $170. This is for the hobby box with the two guaranteed autographs. The retail boxes, I believe, or mega boxes are $49.99. So they had each of those on auction here today, and the hobby box was at 90 when it came on for bid. Somebody from the floor bid it to 100. It sat. I said, you know what? For 110 bucks, I know these things are 150. Even with the buyer's premium on that, I'm going to pay 128. So I'm still getting it for $22 below retail. Which should be enough at some point to sell it for a profit. So go 2025 college kids, play some good football for all you those that have first Bowmans in that box. All right, we got a couple more lots until Mantle card comes up. Right now, Johnny Bench rookie is on the block. $80 is the pre-bid on the card. I don't see any floor bids on this. I'm surprised. There's a floor bid, 90, 95. Yeah, I thought that this card would get some action. It looks pretty nice. I've sold this card before, not as clean a copy of this card for about $65, $70, but this copy is good. But I think at 95, it's still kind of outside of the range of being able to buy and flip. But if you wanted a bench rookie card, this would not be a bad example of one. So I can understand why the bidding is where it's at. We've got, this is lot 50A. Mantle card is 54. There's a Ryan rookie coming next. Then some 1911 card, a 68 Mantle, some 51 Bowman football set before the 66 Topps Mantle, which, by the way, I buried the lead here on you guys. Before we took a break, I put a bid in for 200. It was at 180. I got the leading bid to 190, and I had a max bid of 200. Well, that's already been blown away. Somebody has bid it up to 225. The next increment is 250. I'm not bidding on it. So I'm out on the Mantle. I'm waiting on the one Michael Jordan card that I'm still in on, which is the 88 Fleer for 60. I'm in on that. And it's just a question of whether I want to put a bid in and try to hope it holds or wait. There was a Evers and Chance kind of 1900s card that just went for $2,000. So hopefully people that have money have spent it. So this is a Jim Brown. Here's the Ryan card. The Jim Brown card sold for $450. The bench sold for $95. Ryan rookie is at $475 right now. That's the pre-bid. So that's the pre-bid on this card. I think it's going to go higher. It doesn't look like a perfect copy, but it's well centered. The corners are a little soft, and I don't see any creasing on it. So this is a high dollar card in any kind of grade at all. And it's still sitting at its $475 pre-bid with fair warning up there and no more bids. So maybe, no, here comes, nope, it's sold. Somebody bought the Ryan for $475. Not a bad price for that card. I wasn't in for $500. Okay, now we have some 211s, not 1911 cards. T201 Mecca Double Folder Old Ring Hall of Fame. So it's got Reuben Ollring and Charles Bender. So I guess Ollring is supposedly a Hall of Famer. Never heard of him. Bender's on the front. Ollring on the back. It's kind of weird. They have a different player, two players on these Mecca cigarette cards, 1911, and they're bidding the crap out of it. $750 right now is where 850. 850 is where people are buying 1911. No names. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, yeah, but has anybody heard of a guy named Ollring? I mean, come on. I don't know. I mean, unless you're really into this set, I don't think you've heard of that player. 900, 950 on the floor. They're fighting it out on the floor. So that's what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about how the auction houses that run these combined online and floor live auctions, they really depend on the floor people to pick it up because there hasn't been a lot of internet bidding today. It's been mostly floor bidding. The couple of cards that I've actually bid on, I've pretty much been able to win them. I've been outbid tremendously on a couple of them. They just took them. Okay, here's the 68 Mantle. That went the way by for $950. That 1911 card. 68 Mantle. Doesn't look in great condition. The pre-bid was 160, and there's a floor bidder at 170. All right, still at 170. Somebody may get it for 170, which would be surprising to me. One floor bid on this card. Maybe it's not surprising because the card does look a little beat up. I wouldn't, if I was sitting there in a room with cash, I'd be close to this number, but not anything higher. 180 now. Just waiting on a Michael Jordan coming in about 4 or 5 lots. We're seeing what this Mantle card is going to sell for. I'm not in on it. I'm out on the one that I was going to bid on, but I'm not in on this one either. Still at 180. Looks these things close slow, and you don't see anything for a while. It's like it's closing, because the next thing you know, it's going to be sold, and the next item is going to be up. Still seeing open up. Nope, sold for 180. Okay, now we're on the Topps football set 51 Bowman complete set. 2,000 pre-bid. 2,000 on the pre-bid on this card on this slot. Wow. I don't think anyone's bidding on that. I think that's going to go to the pre-bidder. He went high enough. I don't know what's about. I don't know if this set is worth it, but could be. Just don't know anything about Bowman football or who's in that set or the cards look okay to me. I don't know how great they are, but this must be a rare set. I think it's going to go for 2,000 because I don't see any floor bidder bidding that. I've seen some big bids out here. There's some money in that room. But this was just like an opening salvo by when I look at that, I say, wow, would 1,500 have done it? I don't know. I really don't know about the values of these things. It goes. Here's the 68. Pre-bid 225 is up. I'm not bidding against it. Not the back of this is it could grade a 4, but I just can't take a $260 chance on it, and it's already at 250 again. So I'm glad I'm out. $300. You're at 300 now with the buyer's premium on this card, and unless it grades a 4, you lose money. I just can't. It's just too risky a proposition. I'm better off going out and buying a 4 and paying a little more for it at that point. I can't sell the one I have for anywhere near 300, so I'd be paying up to upgrade, and I'm not sure how much of an upgrade. So just too speculative, not going to do it. Interested to see what it goes. It's gone at 250. We've got a Christy Mathewson Bridewell double. It's at 800 already, 450 to 800. They're in on this. We've got a Montana rookie, a Rice rookie, and then the 2 Jordan cards, and that'll be the end of this video. On online auctions, it's an interesting process. It's different than eBay. It's different than Fanatics or something like that. I don't recommend these dual online in-person um, auctions. It's just not conducive to the online bidder. I think it just favors the house bidder too much. So I would tend to stay away from them. But in all, you can once in a while find some good deals. I think I got some decent deals. I didn't steal any cards of the purchases I've made today. But I think I did some decent deals. Let's go back and review what I won. I got the 360 post serial cards, the Aaron, the Yogi, and the Hodges. Didn't get the Jerry West card, went for 50 overpriced. Got the Whitey Ford for 50. I think I paid at about the right price. I had bid on on 5 Billy Ripken error cards, but they're not the error card, they're just the black box version. He had a lot of 5. When it was $5, I was in on bidding on it. It went for $65. Come on, guys. That's like $12 a card. Plus, when you add the buyer's premium, it's like 15. That's not a $15 card. The error card is. But anyway, it went way over Dom's. The $35 for the ERA leaders, not a $35 card. The Griffey went for 15. That's a little high. The Magic went for 50. I didn't get that one either. The 65 tops went for 30. No interest in that. I got the Bukers for 60. I got the Topps Chrome box for 110, which was 40 below retail. And then I didn't get the Mantle, so I'm right now at 170. That's what I'm trying to figure out. How much money have I spent already? I'm willing to go on this Jordan. So 25, 50, 75, and 170. So I'm at 245 plus buyer's premium. So I'm about 300. Yeah, I'm not going to be bidding a lot on that Jordan. I may make one bid on it because I've already spent about 300 bucks. I need to sell that Bowman Chrome. I got some Bowman Chrome. I may just go ahead and sell what I have here. List one on eBay tonight and try to get 170 for it. When you buy and sell, sometimes you get caught up in the hype. Got to be careful of that. You can do that at card shows too. It happens all the time, even to people that buy cards every day. Okay, let's go to the live auction. Oh, here we are. We're on my card right now. We're on the lots. We got one more lot. This is the 87 Fleer Jordan is now being bid. How do I go to? Here we go. Ooh, it's already at 140. The one I was trying to bid. Already at 140. This is not a $140 card, guys. Everybody wants the Jordan card. Sorry, floor bidder. There's 2 of them. One of them bid 130, one bid 140. It's not a 140 card. I get it. They think they can grade it a 10. That's what has to be going on. That's the only way you can justify paying more than $100. I can't do it. I'm going to let it go. And that's what you have to do. Alright, so my part of this online auction is over with. Judge 99 Sports Cards is going to close out this video. Please like and subscribe and follow my videos. You can follow me on eBay as well at Judge 99 Sports Cards. Whatnot, Instagram, please do it. Not trying to make money off of this, but I'm trying to get a little bit of a following so I can build a community. Judge 99 Sports Cards is out.